Hey folks, how you doing out there? Welcome to another Drinkin' and Wink Scorztember blended Scotch-o-rama. I've lost count of how many we've done so far. I'm trying to do it every one or every other or every third day, and I got a busy evening tonight, tomorrow, and then through the weekend gigs and stuff. So I figured I'd get one more out tonight. It's a little late. I welcome any viewers of Jimmy Kimmel Live here, and if you've chosen me over the whatever is being broadcast on that network, I welcome you, and you're in the right place. Anyway, Jesus. Today we're going to talk about another blended Scotch. This is a malt blend, okay, blended malt Scotch. Even the companies get that confused a little bit. I guess most companies call it a blended malt Scotch whiskey. A malt blend is something that's a little more descriptive of some of the influencers and people that are writing. Anyway, I'm not going to go through that for the 6 millionth time. We're just going to say that a company takes a bunch of single malt Scotch whiskeys, 100% malted barley, aged at least 3 years, if not more. Put it all together, and you've got a blended malt. Okay, no grain in this one. We're going to talk about a blended malt that's kind of new to me, and we're going to talk about Campbeltown Loch. Okay, I have bought the first time I've ever had this was within this year. Okay, I bought it in 2025, and it's a relatively new product from what I understand, or at least here in the United States. This comes from one of my favorite distilleries of all time, the Springbank distillery. We've talked about Springbank distillery. If you talk to anyone who's a Scotch whiskey aficionado and you ask them what are your favorite 5 top distilleries, Springbank almost invariably, I shouldn't say almost invariably is in the top 5. If you ask them what their 3 is, most likely still going to be there. For many of us, it's 1 and 2. I'm going to say it's in the top 3, and only because Springbank is a little harder to find. What region is it from? It is from the Campbeltown region. Now, when we talk about whiskey regions, by far the most popular or well known is the Highlands, which blends into the Speyside. There are more distilleries. If you cut Scotland in half, there are way more distilleries. Maybe if you say into thirds, in the bottom third, you go up there, there are way more distilleries in that region, going all the way up into the Highlands than anywhere else. But that Speyside, which is on the east side of Scotland, okay, say just northeast, if you're looking at the middle, and then it goes into the Highlands is where a lot of the distilleries are. We know all of those. That's where many of the Glenfiddich, Glenallachie, all the different Glenmorangie, Deanston. I can go on and on. It would take another whole hour to list all of those. Then the most the most well-known region is this smaller island called Islay, Islay. We've talked about them. They're well known for peated whiskey. I don't remember how many distilleries are on there now. It's not a whole lot, maybe 12. I can't remember now. Lagavulin, Laphroaig, Ardbeg, Bowmore, Kalila, Bunnahabhain, which is not so peated, Kilholman. What am I blanking on? Help me. Anyway, there's a couple that have come on board. There's not a lot. They're known for that kind of style of peated whiskey, or if not, like Bunnahabhain's case, it's not peated. At least a kind of a very heavy oceanic vibe that really hits. The next region that we need to talk about is the Campbeltown region. Okay, now the Campbeltown region is on the southern end, and there aren't that many distilleries in that region, but they are 3 of the most popular, Springbank being one of the best ever. All right, the other 2 are the Glengyle Distillery and the Glen Scotia Distillery. Okay, they're all kind of very close together. Actually, Springbank and Glengyle are almost on the same if you could think of like, the same block in a city, they're even closer than that. It's an easy walk. Okay, easier than the walk that I just did coming home from school. So, like I said, you can see them from each distillery. Springbank has been well known as being one of the most all natural, high quality products. It's a small distillery. Everything is just top notch. And Springbank 10 it is everyone's favorite. You don't even have to go up into the older ages to get one of the best Scotch whiskeys ever made. There's a little bit of funk, a little bit of earthiness, just a little bit of smoke. I don't even know if it's from peat or if it's something else. It's just the process, but it's absolutely delicious. Everyone loves it. Problem is everyone loves it, okay? And this became, I don't want to say the Blantons of whiskey because this is so much better than whiskey, than Blantons, but it just became, they don't make a whole lot, and it became a little bit scarce, and it's, a little bit of a process to get it over here because they aren't going through distributors with huge names, brand names. Yeah, so this is imported by Pacific Edge Imports, Agora Hills, California. Have you ever heard of it? No, I haven't either. So that's kind of the point. So this became very popular. The 10 is wonderful. You can go up in the age brackets and get all kinds of things, but you're going to pay a lot of money. The other distillery of note is the Glengyle Distillery. They make a Campbeltown Kilkerran. That's a very popular one, and Kilkerran once this got very rare, very hard to get, and all that. It's kind of, now I will make the analog to bourbon here in the United States. Blands became very hard to get, and then the other products that were in the Buffalo Trace portfolio, like Colonel H. Taylor and Elmer T. Lee, and Eagle Rare 10 even became more popular and hard to get, and now those are rare. That was the same kind of thing like this. These were just kind of hard to get here, the Kilkerrans, just because there wasn't that much stuff here. Now, when they get here, they're pretty much bought up pretty quickly, because this was kind of thought of as being the poor man's Springbank, if you will, poor person's Springbank. If you're going to be poor, I got to use not on gender. Poor person's Springbank. Maybe the better analog is that how Weller is kind of the poor person's Weller bourbon here in the United States is kind of the poor person's Pappy Van Winkle. But anyway, that's that. Glen Scotia, which is the third in this Campbeltown Loch, I don't know a whole lot about. I actually have never tasted one. I'd like that to change. It's on my list for the old 54. It's coming up in, I'm not counting, but, I can't count because I'm not good at math, but 17th, the 28th, okay, 11 days. But I do have a Glen Scotia on my list, but I have never had it, okay? Typically, though, everyone thinks about, when they think about the Campbeltown region, is that it has a little bit of a kind of autumnal, leafy, a little bit of tobacco note flavor. It does have that kind of vibe in it. It's not peated to the smoky nature of Isla, but there's just a little hint of peat in there. So now what the Springbank Distillery has gotten bottlings, or gotten barrels from Kilkerran, or the Glengyle Distillery, and, excuse me, Glen Scotia Distillery, and blended it together. There is ex-bourbon cask in here, and ex-sherry cask. We don't know how long it's been aged, but I will tell you this: nothing coming out of this distillery will ever have chill filtering or colorant added, and that's the color they're getting on it. So it's a blend of sherry and that. Okay, sherry and ex-sherry, ex-bourbon. That's what it looks like in the glass. I mean, that's great. On the nose, pure Campbeltown. It just has this nice little note. It's so complex. A little bit of a tobacco note, a little bit of a chocolate note. Sure, barley, of course. We're getting a little bit of the a sherry note, but let's say a fruit note, a dark fruit note. Little bit of smoke, but not oceanic smoke like the campfire smoke. Oh gosh, that's the best nose I've smelled in weeks. I love it. A bigger nose, you will get a little bit of aged in the outdoor. If you had a piece of wood and it was just sitting out by the ocean for a while. You smell that. Now that's essentially what's happening when they're aging in it, but it's not peated to me. And the taste, I'm welling up partially because I needed a drink of water, but partially this is so good. I forgot how good this is. And it's interesting that a couple of days ago I was drinking sheep dip, which I like, and monkey shoulder, which has fallen off a little bit. This is phenomenal. As you can see, I didn't drink a whole lot of this. Kind of the nose is the same here. I'm getting a little bit of chocolate. Dark fruit, definitely. More nuttiness than on the nose. Nice leathery vibe. The sherry influence is giving us a little bit of a cherry note. Oh, this is just unbelievable. Bottle at 700 milliliter. That's the one thing. We're getting a little less from our scotch, and at 46%. It's just damn delicious. I can't believe how good this is. I'm sorry I'm getting worked up because I kind of forgot about this one. That's the one thing about single malt or the blended scotches. Sometimes I get them, I try them a couple of times, and if they're fancy, so it means I'm not using them in a drink, then sometimes I forget about them a little bit. This is just good. God, this is good. Good God, this is good. You can just taste. This is like the perfect scotch for this time of year. Maybe let's say another month in the October. If you want to try an October blended scotch, you got to get Campbeltown Loch. Now the bad news. I have to mention how this is a small distillery. They're not importing now, or not. They're not coming through a big company that brings this in. That unfortunately, when all this tariff nonsense was happening, the big companies are able to send stuff over right away before that happened, and they have places to warehouse it and stock it, and then goes to distributors, which then goes to stores, to retailers. Springbank does not have that architecture, and they don't really care. They want to put out a great product. It's totally different from the American persona, okay, or even with the big world global persona. They want to put a really good product out with a small group of employees, and they want to keep the quality great, and they sell it and they make some money on it, and that's all they seem to want to do. It's fabulous. Can't imagine that. That used to be what every company wanted to do. Now I guess we just have to have stock growth and stock growth and stock growth. Who knows? Okay. I'll tell you what, I would buy their stock if they offered it. I don't think they're publicly traded, but this is really, really good stuff. Problem is the price has gone up. This was $60 whiskey, which for a blended malt is a little high. This is the only distillery that I would spend this much money for. That maybe, and then maybe McNair's Lumreek, because I know that's another one that's a little higher. And maybe thirdly, Compass Box would be my other blended scotch. But there's no those two companies, and really McNair's isn't really around that as much. Campbeltown Loch, something from Compass Box. That's the only thing I'm going to spend that kind of money on. I bought this actually on sale, so I think it was closer to $50. And unfortunately, because of the tariff situation, the price has gone up. Right now at Binny's here in Illinois, this is MSRP, or suggested retail price, or what you're going to pay there normally, is $70. That's a little steep, but that's where we're at, unfortunately. Okay, that's what happens. You screw around and you signed out. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, however, with that being said, right now I notice that it's on sale for $60, and that is something that I'm seeing. At Binny's. Okay, I'm seeing in different stores and different things. Some of these smaller companies are getting it over here. That's the price, and then they will put it on sale a little bit more often to move it, because they know that, unfortunately, they can't afford to get it into retail stores without raising the price. But once it's here, and if it's sitting for any period of time because of the price tag, you might be able to find it on sale. I'm going to say you need to find it on sale. I almost wish, I almost, I have so many things on the docket. I almost wouldn't mind buying another one of these right now while it's on sale. This is not hard to find, however. Springbanks and Kilkerrans are harder to find. I know that right now in Illinois, again, I hate to use Binny's all the time, but that's kind of where I've been going lately. I'm not getting downtown to any of my favorite shops so much anymore. I'd like to, but it's just a little tougher. Maybe after my birthday, I'll go down and take a trip to Warehouse Liquors or somewhere else to get something a little bit more interesting. But you don't have to search around for this one. This is really good. Again, Campbeltown Loch. I'm going to say this right now. In terms of malt blend Scotch whiskey, I don't think you can do any better than this. If you like a different flavor profile, the only other one that would be in any manner of contention is, for me, Compass Box Orchard House, which would be a little bit cheaper. I haven't had all of the other Compass Box offerings because there's a lot of them, but you cannot go wrong with Compass Box, which is the brand name, and then they have different names of their blends. Those are mostly all, if not all, malt blends. But I'm going to just say it right now. This is the best. I'm not going to say out there because I haven't had them all. This is the best blended malt Scotch whiskey that I have on my shelf right now. If you can take that and want to run with it, who would like this? Single malt Scotch whiskey fans are going to love it. People that like kind of a complex flavor are going to like this. Bourbon fans are actually going to like this because what's interesting is the ex-bourbon cask gives it the typical nuttiness and that kind of stuff. The ex-sherry cask component of this, and we don't know again what the makeup is giving this a sweeter flavor than I kind of expected. There's a black cherry, there's nuts, there's an earthiness, there's a little bit of fire. The only thing I'm missing is maybe just a little bit of crispness, but that's not what I usually get out of Springbank either. So it's really nice, bottled at 46%. I'll give you a better example. If you can get this at 60, okay, unfortunately we're going to have to live with 70 for a while. If you can get this at 60, I would buy this 100% of the time over Johnny Walker Black Label, the 12-year-old. This is what they are trying to do, okay? This is what they are telling you it is. They're doing it with color, added caramel color. They're doing it with grain whiskey and something else that gives it a caramel flavor that I don't like. This is absolutely phenomenal. All right, I'll give you a look at the bottle again. Okay, there you go. One last thing. This is again from the Campbeltown region. Combination of Springbank, Glengyle, and Glen Scotia. Do understand that when I say Campbeltown, from what I have understood, they do not say Campbeltown or any of those kind of let's say British kind of phrasing where they will Campbeltown drop the town. I've heard Scottish people say Campbeltown. I don't know if that's right, but that's what they say. So there you go. Look for it. This is really fascinating. I think the next one I'll do, if I just don't do this one again, I'm going to tell you, I'm liking this so much right now. This is definitely, again, like I said, the best blended malt that I have on my shelf. This could be in contention, for the best just Scotch whiskey I drink this year. Okay, and I bought a couple of nice single malts. Could be a contention for whiskey of the year. That's how impressive this is. Which would be weird because I can't remember what I did last year, but this is the second malt blend that I've really been blown away with. Yes. Okay. There you go. That was a little weird. No, I said that wrong. I'm sorry. This is the second blended Scotch that I've really blown away with. McLean's Nose, that is not a malt Scotch. That has some grain in it. But right now, if you want to, you know, I'll bring it up. I'll talk about it anyway if it's right here. Oh, I don't see it. Two blended Scotches that you want to look at right now are McLean's Nose for the Ardnamurchan Distillery and Campbeltown Loch from the Springbank. That's all I got. All right, really great. I love this. Boy, this is just so exciting. I hope you folks understand how much I enjoy this, and yeah, it's. I hope that my sometimes funny comments about things about tariffs and all that, and like I just got to say it like it is. It's just what it is. So if I'm offending anyone, I'm sorry. Go watch Gutfeld. All right, I'm sorry. That's it. This guy puts a bunch of tariffs, and you don't expect any other country to like counter tariff. Doesn't make any sense. All right. Anyway, that's all. I'll get off. I'll go off. I'm gonna go. I don't know what. I don't know. I'll watch some Colbert or something.